So the Apple event is over, and one of the most exciting products that was announced was something that maybe not a lot of people were excited about until they saw it. But I've been excited for weeks, ever since the first leaks about the new iPad came out. I've been hyped. Oh no, I'm sorry, not the new iPad, the iPad mini. That's right, the iPad mini, in my mind, was one of the best, the absolute best things that came out of that entire conference. I'm super excited to talk about it. We'll also talk about the regular iPad first, just to get that out of the way, because I feel like that's kind of the appetizer, but the main meal is the iPad mini. And I'll tell you all about it right after this.
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name is Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. And today we're going to talk about the iPad and the iPad mini. So if you like that sort of content, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's get into the video. So the new iPad is announced and released at the same price as the old iPad. And it's kind of the least impressive of all the devices that were kind of launched this day. Now, you might think maybe the iPhone 13 is the least, or the Apple Watch Series 7. Some people were disappointed by those, but really the iPad itself was probably the least spectacular. And that's because the only real change was the inclusion of Center Stage and the A13 processor. So let's just real quick go through that. Now, all the things that you love about iPad still work. I mean, it's still one of the best tablets out today with the most powerful processor you can get on any tablet pretty much at all, especially from the consumer side of things. And the things you can do with the Apple Pencil are really cool and amazing. And yes, it's great and awesome. And iPad OS is great. That's awesome. Sure. But it's still kind of the old design of the iPad. There's nothing new there. The A13 isn't going to give you a lot more than the A12 didn't as far as actual everyday use. But Center Stage might. And really the funny thing about Center Stage is something that I was calling out when they showed it in the iPad Pro presentation, that it didn't make sense for an iPad Pro, but it did make sense for a consumer level iPad, which is of course what we have here. When Center Stage was first announced, it kind of used this as a use case, and it made sense to me for an iPad, not an iPad Pro, the thing that your mom and dad are not going to buy. This is a great feature, but it needs an ultra wide camera, and that's exactly what the new iPad has. I mean, FaceTime calls on an iPad are super awesome, especially if you're at home and you don't have your phone around. I always like putting my phone down and having my iPad as my primary device while I'm at the house. I mean, there's no reason not to. The bigger screen and in some ways better and easier to type with, just make it a better device for me all around at home. I think it's the perfect kind of all around device. The iPad itself, A13 processor, not going to change your life. Again, the A12 was already ridiculous enough, but listen, they threw it in there and it's the same price. So if you bought an iPad recently, rest in peace, wallet. But if you're going to buy one now, make sure you get the brand newest one. But again, that wasn't the exciting announcement. My favorite iPad of all time was the iPad mini, the series that has been around for a very long time and never changed. It looks the same as the iPad 1 mini. And as a matter of fact, there was one year that the only change on the iPad mini was the inclusion of the fingerprint sensor. They went from the 2 to 3 and the only change was the fingerprint sensor. It was the least loved iPad by Apple. Why did you do this to us? But now, with the announcement of the iPad mini, they're looking to rectify that. Not only does it fit in your hand amazingly, this thing is a powerhouse. Let's not even talk about the processor yet. Let's just talk about the size and the way it fits in your hand. I have always loved this form factor, and the fact now that you get more screen size for the same size of iPad is amazing. They got rid of the bezels, or at least kind of. They certainly got rid of the push button, which gives you more space all around, and now you have a much larger screen and an incredible processor and some other cool things that absolutely excites me. Oh my God, I'm so hyped for this. Again, if you've had an iPad before but never had a mini, then you might be wondering, what the heck am I so excited about? Listen, this thing has always been the tip top when it comes out. Whenever it's released, it gets the tip top processor, and that's no different here with the A15 processor, the A15 Bionic that just came out on the new iPhone. This makes it the most powerful iPad yet, which is weird because it's the smallest one. Get your mindset out of the fact that the small iPad means that it's got to be a budget. It's not. It is actually a flagship tablet, which is kind of crazy. And it supports the newest version of the Apple Pencil, the one that's on the iPad Pro, the second generation, and it just snaps on the side. Let me tell you something. I have the second generation Apple Pencil, and I use it on my iPad Pro to edit my videos on the channel. And when I found out that it supports that, bro, I went hype. I can't wait to take this iPad and try some of the things I already do on my iPad Pro. Now, listen, I have the iPad Pro 12.9 inch and I use it as basically a laptop replacement for editing my videos here on YouTube. but it's so big and clunky that I don't really want to take it with me on the couch when I'm watching TV. But the iPad mini has always been perfect for that. Man, let me tell you something. I am absolutely over the moon for this. A15 processor, USB-C, all the things. We're talking stereo speakers, some new colors, Touch ID on the power. Now, this is something great because in order to turn on the iPad without a button, you're going to use the power button anyway. So this is going to automatically log you in, much like the iPad Air. This inclusion is totally okay with me. I don't care about Face ID on an iPad because, to be honest, I'm always going to hit that power button. So I'm totally cool with this. And of course, the A15 Bionic is going to give you all types of new processing power and GPU power to play the latest games and power through some things. Now, I'm going to do some tests on it when I get it. I'm actually even going to compare it to my iPad Pro. I'm really interested how the M1 processor goes against the A15. And in case you don't know, the M1 processor is basically an A14X, so it's essentially one generation behind, but more GPU cores. So we're going to test that out. I want to see which is going to work better. I'm actually super excited about this. And delivering up to 40% faster CPU and 2 times faster machine learning, the iPad mini is the ultimate tablet. It is literally the most powerful tablet you can buy, consumer level, period. There are no Android tablets that can touch this thing. Don't even talk to me about apps, because apps on the iPad are great. The A15 processor, which is in this tablet, is essentially the next generation of M processors you guys and gals are all talking about. The M1, of course, being the last one, is basically an A14X. The A15X will be the M2 or M, whatever they want to call it. So this is the kind of a glimpse into the next M type of processor. So if you've ever been curious what the next one's going to look like, we're going to have a pretty good idea with this. The iPad mini is the perfect size. With Wi-Fi 6 and 5G, you're good to go. Now, let me tell you something about getting a 5G tablet, just in my own opinion. If you have any type of tethering on your account, and typically in America, you get some type of tethering, and you have an iPhone, getting a 5G version isn't necessarily the greatest idea. First of all, they're more expensive. And by the way, you actually don't typically need to even use it because the iPhone has an automatic hotspot feature built in that you don't have to do very much for. You don't even have to buy the 5G version if you don't want to. And yes, USB-C, baby. I'm so excited about this. This allows me to now use this as a takeaway when I want to edit on the go. Like if I'm out, maybe at CES or something, and I want to edit a video. Again, I edit all my videos on my iPad. Instead of bringing my iPad Pro, which I would feel nervous about because it's my entire editing machine, I can take my iPad mini with USB-C connected, the A15 processor, and use it all. I'm telling you, I know that this seems like I'm a hypebeast for this, but since the iPad mini was always my favorite iPad, it's hard for me not to be hyped. And center stage, which makes so much sense on a consumer level tablet. I love it. I love what it does, taking the ultra wide camera on the front facing portion of the tablet and allowing you to move around and have it follow you around. It's actually really cool. It's almost like magic, but okay, yeah, it's actually existed before. Skype used to do this on the Xbox of all things. But it's an amazing feature that actually works really well. And yeah, sure, we're going to get True Tone flash and a better camera on the back, but listen, I'm not taking my iPad mini anywhere and taking pictures or videos with it. I don't care how good the camera is. You're not going to catch me doing that. And of course, they're going to get you on the accessories, which are going to be stupid expensive, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've never been so hyped about an Apple product. I can't think of the last time I was really genuinely hyped about an Apple product. Maybe the second iPad Pro, the 2018 version. But other than that, this one has all my hype. If you've ever had an iPad mini before, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Are you incredibly hyped about the iPad mini that's coming out? Well, I mean, you can order it now and get it next week. I can't wait to do some videos on this thing. Ooh, baby, baby. I'll see you next time. Peace and love.